Yes, so here we are. Today is November 4th, 2021. And I wanted to take this time today because this was a thought in my mind that I wanted to come forward and present to ones who are subscribers of the Moon Healing YouTube channel. And this video right here is going to be so powerful. I'm going to call it what happens, or the mechanics of manifestation. Because so often we hear about this word manifestation, but there's actually a mechanism behind it. And there may be some misinterpretations. Well, I don't want to say misinterpretations, because when you check life, you check that all is actually correct. There's no right or wrong way. Everything is correct. It's all about your perspective and your sense of direction and where you want to go. Because what's wrong for somebody else may be right for you. What's wrong for you may be right for somebody else. And it's all, this whole thing of life, it's just a matter of perspective. So I won't say so much what I'm about to say is a more correct way of looking at manifestation, but I would say that what I'm about to say is a more, it's a different perspective of looking at manifestation. It's a different way of looking at it that it may bring more clarity to you on what manifestation actually is. Check it like we say, if you're looking at a tree, and you're looking at a tree from only one perspective, and all your life you looked at this tree from this one perspective, but then somebody else comes along and gives you another perspective. Or now you have a bigger picture of the tree as a whole, and you're not just looking at it from one perspective. So much about what we hear of manifestation is all about, attracting, the law of attracting. Well, what this does is when we hear this attracting, it makes it seem as though that which we're trying to manifest, or that place that we're trying to go, that thing that we're trying to acquire, is far away, and we have to attract it to us. I'm going to give another perspective on this whole thing of manifestation and say that it's not so much about attracting as it is rather matching. Right? What does that mean? It's not attracting, it's matching. So, let me put this very simple. So we understand that everything is right here, right now. There's nothing that is out there. For a second, close these physical eyes. This is why meditation is so important. Because a lot of times you have to close these physical eyes, close the physical senses that see things in time, space, and distance, and tap into the spiritual eye that sees that everything is right here, right now, right? That place you want to go to, that thing you want to manifest. It's not out there and you have to attract it. It's right here, right now. And there's a certain meditation that you can do, and it's going to take a little bit of time to be more focused on your spiritual eye rather than your physical eye. Because again, the physical eye, it shows us space, distance, how long it takes something to get here, how big it is, what I have to do. It's very logical, but the spiritual eye is not logical. It's very spiritual, and you understand that everything is right here, right now. So, with that being said, let's look at the spiritual eye's perspective and say everything is right here, right now. So if everything is right here, right now, why haven't let's just use material things, for example. Why haven't I attracted this material thing if it's right here, right now? From my mechanics and my understanding of manifestation within these past, guess, year or so, the studies, the meditations that I've been exposed to, it's more of matching the frequency. And I know everyone is throwing around this word frequency nowadays, but when I'm saying it here, I'm talking about it's matching the energy wavelength of that which you're trying to attract, manifest. Because everything has a vibrational frequency, whether it's a physical object, a car, a house, a place you want to travel to, which the traveling part, if you haven't seen the Science of Teleportation video that I did, check that out, because that one's pretty cool, pretty interesting. But rather it's a place, anything, everything has its own vibrational frequency. Everything has its own vibrational frequency. What I mean by vibrational frequency is that everything has its own resonance. Everything has its own, I want to use like different words. Everything has its own signature. Everything has its own energetic signature. That's what it is. Everything has its own energetic signature. I may be sitting here in this particular room with these cool words right here. But then if I walk into another room, though I may be in the same building, the energetic signature of these two locations are actually different. We call it the location variable. That's talking about location. But let's say we're talking about a physical object. Even that physical object has its own resonant signature. So we understand that when we want to attract something, it's not so much about pulling it to us, but rather matching the resonant frequency of that which we want to manifest. We have this power. We as humans, we have this amazing power to do amazing things once we understand the mechanisms of how they work. So, before this video reaches too long, I want to say here that the way this thing happens is that you have to match the resonant frequency of that which you want to acquire. You have to match the frequency of that place you want to go. We don't look outside and try to bring things to us. We go inside and match the frequency. So then when we open our eyes again, we're in the location we want to be. We're in the situation we want to be. Why? Because we went inside to tune our own frequency. And then we match that. And when we open up again, we see that that which we wanted to acquire has now been acquired. That goes same thing for, I'll touch on it briefly here, but the art of teleportation. Isolating yourself in a cocoon, in an auric bubble, and superimposing on that bubble the energetic frequency of that location you want to go to. Everything that we want, everything about this whole manifesting and things like that, it's not, again, about going outside and getting it, but it's more about becoming it from the inside. And you essentially match the version of you who has that which you are seeking, you are desiring. So, the mechanism of manifestation from this particular perspective is more about matching, tuning in to the frequency that you wish to acquire, that you wish to become, rather than attracting something that is far away and we have to pull into us. What I'm doing here is giving you a different perspective. It's all perspective. Even when we look at the things like the different layers of the body, people, you may want to Google the different energy layers of the body. We see them from our 2-eye perspective as physical layer, etheric layer, mental layer, emotional. Like we look at it like layers, like a hierarchy. Because our mind does this. We like to think in straight lines. We like to think in, hierarchical, linear. But from a more of a 4D and 5D sense, everything is frequency. So instead of looking at the body like this is the physical layer, this is the blah, blah, blah layer going on and going on, we say the physical essence of the body has a certain frequency. Now, when that frequency vibrates to a next level, it seems as though it's a new state of being. So now you get into the etheric layer of the body. And it's all vibrational frequency. It's all resonance. So everything is right here, right now.